Hello humans, or probably griefers. If you click this video then you're probably a bit worried that you might have been a bit too harsh lately in GTA. Maybe you killed a player repeatedly and felt weirdly good about it, and now you're seeking help. Or maybe you just wanted to see me. Hi, my name is iKills. Today, this is part 2 of a series nobody cares about or asked for. Sign number 1, you're using certain vocabulary. When you're being an absolute muppet on GTA and start getting the keyboard out, then you may have a problem. The GTA text feature is no doubt a useful feature for only, well, about 2% of the time. 10% of the time, people are messaging you asking you for modded cars. Honestly, get a life. Go and touch a real car. And the other 88% of the time, people are sending you absolutely disgusting messages. The classic ones are L's, pussy, which is short for pussycat, and 1v1 airport. Oh, and my personal favourite, go and eat a hot dog and die, your YouTube channel's dead. That gets me every time. These damn kids and their bloody lingo. When you do have pent up anger with somebody, you just gotta let it go more naturally. For example, with some yoga. No, I would not bully that child. No, I would not act like a no-life virgin. Sign number 2, you're spamming ghost organisation or off radar. If you find yourself constantly going off the radar for no reason and being an absolute penile, then you definitely might have the case of the griefies. Obviously going off the radar can be used for transporting cargo or even hiding from griefers themselves. But you know who you are, and you know what you're doing. First of all, don't be a wimp. Secondly, if you own GTA Plus and you don't have to pay for all that ghost organisation, then that's even worse. Go and spend that money on something useful instead, like contributing towards mommy's rent. Sign number 3, you're spending way too long waiting for somebody to come outside. When somebody is fleeing to their apartment because somebody is being a massive small peen bully, then stalking them outside and waiting there for half an hour to an hour not only shows that you're persistent, but it also shows how pathetic you truly are. This also does play a role on both sides. The person who is hiding could easily just find another lobby, and they are just as stubborn as you are. But when it gets to the point where you're actually there, glued like a hawk to your screen, my friend, you just need to go and do something else. Go and help your mom wash the dishes downstairs. She needs you, bro. Sign number 4, spamming missiles as you're flying through the city. Everybody has an itchy trigger finger from time to time, but holding the button to shoot missiles when you're flying through the city, whether that be in a Sparrow or the Oppressor Mod 2, is just absolutely mental in itself. You're a psychopath who just loves the sound of a missile lock-on, and you cannot be stopped, my friend. Did I mention that yoga helps? Because you should definitely do some yoga. Also, if your finger is still itching even though you're not playing GTA, then that doesn't sound like an itchy trigger finger. That sounds to me like it might be something else a bit more personal, and quite frankly, I don't think I want to know where that finger has been. Number 5, randomly going on high buildings and sniping with thermal. GTA is not called Eagle Simulator. Landing on high buildings such as the Maze Bank Tower and sniping people for fun with thermal isn't the answer to all life's questions. There's being a prat and then there's that. If you guys watching aren't that familiar with combat, then I'll teach you now that sniping with thermal is overpowered because you can see the player blitz from very far away. And even more scummier is the fact that you can actually snipe them through buildings if they're far enough. So if you're one day walking through the streets and randomly die with nobody else around you, then you might have been a victim of an absolute low-life scumbag. And if that's the case, I do have a compensation link down below. Sign number 6, going in passive mode so the person you killed can't kill you back. This is probably one of the worst things that can ever happen to a person who is quite experienced on the streets. If you're killing somebody and then going straight into passive mode when it's possible, just to stay one up on the player that you killed isn't something to brag about. Being only one up on somebody first of all isn't that impressive, and secondly, if you are spamming the message 1-0 to them, then you're honestly just embarrassing yourself. If you're obsessing entirely over the number 1, then you need to also know that that'd be the total number of your own family in the future. 1. Because you'll be alone, is what I'm trying to say. Number 7, you get excited by kill feed activities. The kill feed is absolutely useful for a lot of things in GTA. It lets us know when somebody's off the radar and whether or not a particular person is killing loads of people over and over again, telling us to avoid that person in particular. A typical griefer will get excited when they see, for example, somebody is doing their cargo and have certain phrases in their mind such as, well that can't happen, and oh I better blow that up because my peen is feeling extra small today. These are also known as cargo griefers, which to be fair was in part 1 of the video I've made of this, so these two do kind of go hand in hand. Sign number 8, you're googling glitches which will give you an advantage. Are you finding yourself up to date constantly with glitches that haven't yet been patched? If so, you're not only probably using these glitches for griefing, you're also putting a massive sticker on your head which says pathetic. People who are constantly using methods such as God mode, invisibility and even God mode vehicles are more than likely to be a griefer and one that can't stand being killed by another person. They just like to feel invincible, but thankfully that's not the case in real life. The poor suckers probably got bullied in school. Sign number 9, you pick fights with players who are lower than you. Being a buddy is what's required to being a griefer. However, it's worse when you find yourself scanning the lobby list to find players who are much lower than you. Or better yet, scrolling and looking through everybody's KD and seeing which ones are lower than yours, so you can start a fight and have more of an advantage. For example, if you saw this, you'd absolutely avoid it because you'd know that you'd get your coconuts kicked. Granted, some griefers do go for other players with higher or equal KDs, but that doesn't make you any more of a bloody angel. Now go and sit in the corner and think about what you're doing. Oh, look at this, a low rank. Well, that's just absolutely uncalled for. He didn't even get in my car. Also, to the person I just killed, if you're somehow watching this, I am very sorry, and if you reach out to me, I'll give you a free heist cut. Because the fact that you're hanging outside the store kind of tells me you're broke, so I'm here to help you, buddy. And sign number 10, you spend a lot of your income on the orb cannon. Now this can fall either way. Sometimes a very frustrated, inexperienced player can lose their marbles and orb a griefer who has killed them a bunch of times. But let's be honest, half the time it's a low-life griefer who does this, and usually the sweaty ones. When you do better against a griefer, score to them matters very much. They get very upset when they see it's 1-0 to them, and when it's 2-0 they want to uninstall the game and play Fortnite. So for them to really get the upper hand, they teleport to their facility and spend a cheap fair price of 750 grand to attack you and only you. Every time I get orbed, I just laugh because it makes me feel special that I'm worth that much of somebody's pocket. But of course, I do try and make them waste their money for nothing, and laugh in their face when they try to orb me. For example, hiding with my RC vehicle underneath my APC so they think I'm inside my APC. Simple yet an effective tactic. Try this at home, kids. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I was feeling a bit nostalgic today and I wanted to bring back something old to the channel, so yeah. I also want to apologise for the lack of uploads recently. I've been absolutely busy with my life and I'm still adapting to a new routine. But you'll still get a video from me once a week, so you can stop crying now. Because mama didn't raise no baby. Well, technically she did, but you know what I mean. I also want to mention that this video is just for humour purposes. Obviously all these signs don't mean you're a griefer, but if the show is fitting a bit too comfortably, then yeah. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.